Have you ever saved all year for that one family vacation and ended up stressed out about every single dollar?
Not anymore. Hi, I'm Mary Ellen.
And I'm Joe. We're two busy moms who have cracked the code on travel with points and miles.
We're here to show you how we turn everyday expenses into extraordinary vacations.
This is Wonderland on Points, where we share tips and tricks to help you earn free and deeply discounted travel.
Let the adventure begin. Welcome back to Wonderland on Points, presented by Yahoo Travel. Today is an episode that a lot of you guys have been really excited about. We're finally going to cover our trip to New Mexico. Joe and I went to New Mexico over my spring break from teaching nursing students, and we had an incredible time. You guys saw us just raving about this place in our stories. We both have highlight bubbles, so you can go there and find visuals on each of our Instagrams. But Joe, I know you have been so excited to share about this. Are you just so pumped for today?
I am so excited. I wanted to do it like the day we got back. I was like, I'm ready. This was such an incredible place. I have been raving about it to anyone who will listen. I'm in love with it. Someone else said this in a recent interview we had. New Mexico is very underrated. It was not on my radar. We ended up here by accident, and what a happy accident it was, because now we know we will be back to the Hyatt Regency Tamaya again and again and again.
Yes, guys. Okay. We were supposed to go to Grand Cayman. If you've been following the podcast, you know that I originally booked a trip for us because spring break, each year it's kind of become an annual girls' trip time. And so I had planned for us to go to the brand new property, Hyatt property in Grand Cayman. It didn't open in time. It just keeps getting pushed back, pushed back, pushed back. So we had to pivot. And so most people thought naturally we would pivot to another beach location. But I threw a curveball and was like, actually, ladies, our friend Lindsay, who's been on several trips with us, she has been a guest on the pod many times. She went with us. And I was like, ladies, grab your boots because we're heading to New Mexico.
And did we ever grab our boots? You want to talk about how many boots I grabbed?
So many boots. Okay, this was a 3-night trip. Joe arrived with, 7 pairs of shoes?
6 pairs of shoes. Six pairs of shoes. It's so like the opposite, the antithesis of everything that I am in my actual life. I wear one pair of, tennis shoes during the winter, sandals during the summer, wear them till they got holes in them, don't spend a lot of money. And then in my basement, I just, for some reason, have lots of shoes for just one-off occasions. I'm not sure how this has come to be. Thrift stores and stuff. I brought 6 pairs of shoes and I wore 5 out of the 6. And let's talk about your boots real quick, because your boots have gotten a lot of attention.
Listen, I bought these boots, these teal boots. I guess would you call them teal? I don't know what color.
Yeah, they're
quite
teal,
they are. Teal,
for
I
sure.
guess. I bought them and I thought, I can't fit these in my suitcase no matter how hard I try. I was trying to go carry on only. This is not going to happen. I'm going to have to wear these in the airport in Baltimore. Okay, not in Albuquerque.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would be maybe fine. But in Baltimore, I'm going to have to leave with these teal boots. People are going to be staring at me. I was so nervous about it. And let me tell you, before I even got through TSA, 2 TSA agents had complimented the boots. This continued throughout the whole trip. I have never been complimented.
The whole trip.
The whole trip. It got embarrassing. Like, I didn't even know what to say anymore. I just said, thank you. But these boots were the hit of the trip. So if you are going anywhere that boots might be appropriate, I will link them in the show notes, because never in my life have I been complimented about anything as much as these boots. They turned out to be a hit.
No. In fact, the boots are the reason why we figured out one of y'all listeners was at Tamaya the same time we were. And if Mary Ellen hadn't been wearing those boots, I don't know if that would have been a connection that was made. Because didn't she say, like, I saw you riding the horses, I noticed the boots.
It's true. We got recognized in the wild for the first time, which was so fun. Although she didn't know our faces. She just knew our voices, right? So she didn't immediately recognize us. But then as soon as she saw us posting, she realized, oh my gosh, it's them, which is so fun. Please say hello to us. If you ever happen to be traveling at the same time as us, that would just completely make our day. We'd love to say hello and give you a hug. But let's get to it.
Yes, let's do it. I'm so excited to talk about this. Starting from the top, We both flew American. You booked on American, booked via Alaska,
Yes.
which that I'm assuming you do it the old way with the loophole transfer?
Yes, I don't have an Alaska Atmos card at this point. So any Alaska miles that I have are from Amex pre the loophole closing. So I sent Amex membership rewards over to Hawaiian that I then sent to Alaska. That and surveys. I did
Yeah.
earn a little stash of Alaska points through doing some surveys, which I posted about on Instagram. Always make sure you're following us because if we see little tricks like that, we will certainly repost them so that you can take advantage of them. So I did book through Alaska, but it was all pre loophole. Now, if someone wants to be able to book American Airlines flights now and you don't have miles with Alaska, Qantas, that is still an option. So if you have, say, Amex membership rewards points, you can no longer get them over to Alaska. You can look for AA on AA Metal, AA flights through Qantas and book some pretty good prices that way too.
For sure. All of my Alaska points are now from a Hawaiian card, and everything's since been converted to the Atmos program. But I actually booked this one directly because it was cheaper, which rarely happens. So we both had our American flights and we made sure to line them up so that they routed through Dallas
Yes.
together, so that we could meet up, we could do a little lounge hopping, and then we could carry on to Albuquerque together. Although we weren't truly together because someone
Someone
bougie.
booked first ahead of time and made the decision to book first class before her friends ever booked their flights. So I didn't abandon you. I just was already booked on first class.
You're like, you sit in the back with the rest of the cattle.
Hey, we all know how to do this points and miles game. We just choose to do it differently at
I
any
didn't
given
want to
time.
spend the points. I didn't want to spend that. Actually, it was
I know.
not a good deal for the first class ticket from my airport. So,
Yeah, and if it's short flight, sometimes it's not worth it. I mean, that second flight we had from Dallas to Albuquerque was like less than an hour, maybe barely over an hour. It wasn't a long flight. So it wouldn't, to me, have been worth paying much more for just that leg. And guys, I do want to say, because I know there are some hardcore points and miles people here, like rolling their eyes about us interchanging points and miles with the different on this podcast, we don't get our little panties in a wad over things like that. So if
amen.
that is bothering you, I'm so sorry. We're going to use them interchangeably.
Points and miles, interchangeable. If you really wanted to quiz us about which ones are points and which ones are miles, we could do it. But that doesn't sound very fun at all. This is not
Mm,
school. This
no,
is
no school here.
coffee time.
That's right. So we did in Dallas get to go to a lounge together. We really wanted to go to the brand new Plaza Premium Lounge. We were going to do that with my Priority Pass access that I have through the City Strata Elite card. However, we didn't have a very long layover. The lounge, understandably, it's brand new, was packed. There was a long wait. There's also a Capital One lounge there. We considered that. Also, not really a great option if you're in a hurry because it's so popular. So we ended up using still my City Strata Elite card to gain access, but we used one of the American Airlines lounge passes that you have that. So we went into an Admirals Club that was
Hmm.
right beside our gate, which was
Hmm.
fantastic because when we walked back out of the Admirals Club, it was literally 2 steps. They were already boarding our plane, so we got to kind of go straight onto the plane.
Yeah. And it was good. It was good. The food was good. They had these little bao buns, but like
Yeah.
breakfast bao bun. It was stuffed with like eggs and sausage. I wanted to take about 20 of those and just put
Yeah.
them in my purse.
I actually
I
really,
did
really
put some
loved
things in
those.
my purse and they were so good. I have tea in my purse from the lounge.
She did steal some tea. I love just being able to get steamed milk and make a tea latte. I'm a tea person, I'm not a coffee person, but I love being able to get an Earl Grey or an English breakfast tea and do some steamed milk and honey in the lounge rather than having to pay, $6 or $7 for it at Starbucks. So I really appreciate that about even kind of bootleg lounges often will have one of the nice coffee makers that have
True.
steamed milk and all. So we
True.
enjoyed that.
All right. Well, we arrive in Albuquerque and we meet up with our beloved Lindsay, who was already there waiting, I think, when we arrived, but only by a few minutes. It was all timed so well.
Yeah, we left. So we actually spent the night at an airport hotel together in Baltimore before leaving because we had to get to the Baltimore airport really early, BWI. She took off on Southwest and connected in Chicago, while I took off on American, connected in Dallas. And I think her flight in on Southwest from Chicago to Albuquerque landed literally 5 minutes before. I mean, it was probably
It was
the plane that
wild.
landed right before ours. So she was right there, had just deplaned at the gate. Perfect timing. Thank goodness there was no, weather issues or delays. It was actually one of those situations that could have gone probably horribly wrong, splitting up and flying different airlines, having connections, and it actually worked beautifully. Such a blessing.
It was so smooth and so wonderful. Okay, let's talk the property because honestly, that's the highlight. That's what we're all here to find out about. So, Hyatt Regency Tamaya, which as of now is still a category 4, and it is currently still on the old award chart. So, that's changing. Get your bookings in before then. And this is definitely something that we would recommend booking with your points while it is still just 12,000 to 18,000 points, depending on what time of year you're going. We were there in April. We were there right as things were starting to kind of come alive on the property. And I would totally recommend this particular week. You do want to do a little bit of research, call and find out what things is the Corn Maiden restaurant open, what offerings are there, because I would hate for anybody to show up and be like, oh, we can't do the things you guys did because they're not available yet. But this was the perfect time, the perfect weather. It was just
Oh,
excellent
it was
all
lovely.
around. And for this one, you actually used no points. You used free night awards for the entire thing.
Yes. I mean, points, guys. We have a whole podcast about using points, but there is something so incredible when you have free night awards, free night certificates for different, whatever hotel chain it is, when you can cash those in and feel like I paid $0, 0 points for these stays, that just takes it to the next level of magic. So I used 3 Hyatt free night awards. Let me go through some ways that you can earn free night awards because mine were from a combination. So, number 1, if you have a Hyatt personal co-branded credit card, this is a Chase co-branded card, you get a free night award every year for your anniversary. Now, I will say this. My anniversary comes up, I think in January every year. That free night award usually doesn't hit my account until like March. It is not
Oh,
instantly, I know. It is very delayed. I don't know if it has to be like, after a statement closes and then another 6 weeks or whatever, but it always takes longer than I think it's going to get that free night award. But you do get a free night award on your anniversary or for your anniversary. You can get a free night award for spending $15,000 on a Hyatt personal card every year. I always kind of get to that spending threshold. I typically don't spend more than that on the card, but in between times, maybe I'm not working on another welcome offer for a card. I'll put stuff on the Hyatt card so that I can get to that 15K threshold for a free
yeah.
night award. You can get a free night award for a 30-night milestone reward. So everybody who is in the World of Hyatt, if you have the app, you'll see that you can earn these milestone rewards throughout the year. And at 30 nights, you get a free night award plus some other prize. And this you can get to, it doesn't just have to be nights you actually spent in a Hyatt. You also
Hmm.
get credits here, elite night credits from spending. So on the personal card, you get 2 nights for every 5K spent. For a Hyatt business card, you get 5 nights for every 10K spent. So these are different ways you can earn free night awards. You can also have somebody gift you a free night award. The World of Hyatt program allows you to gift awards to each other, which is really, really awesome.
And let's talk about my favorite way to get a free night award, which is bingo, which is the
Yes.
only way that I've ever gotten a free night award because I don't have the card at this moment. And that is when you stay at a bunch of different Hyatt brands, 5 to be specific, and you earn a free night for that. Guys, this is crazy. And someone was recently telling us that she booked 5, various trips at different brands, earned her free night award, and then she had her husband book the next couple of places that they stayed to do the same thing. That makes a lot of sense. You don't
Yeah.
have to book everything under your account. You can hit the brands twice and have a different person booking the reservation.
Yes, the Brand Explorer is so fun, and I'm one of those people I didn't even think about. Maybe some of these nights should be under my husband's name so that he can also get a free night
I
award
know.
through
I
Brand
just want
Explorer.
everything. I want everything under
I know,
me.
me too, and I for status and stuff, but
Yeah,
if
if
you're
you're
not
going
gonna
for status,
actively, yeah, get status, then it would be worth it to kinda take turns booking the different style properties so you each earn that. So, anyway, this hotel is the best. I have to think it is one of the best options in all of the World of Hyatt program for domestic options for a category 4. Please, please, Hyatt, we beg you, do not change it from a category 4 because this feels like, I mean, it's a whole resort. It's beautiful. It is magical. And to be able to use a free night award here it's the best. It is the absolute best, guys. Do it while you still can. I hope we can do it for a long time, but who knows?
okay, let's talk about the property a little bit. First of all, it is a little bit of a hike from Albuquerque itself. It's in the outskirts. It takes about 30 minutes to get out there. There apparently is a Walmart 10 minutes down the road if you need supplies, but it does feel very removed from civilization.
Which is a good
So
thing.
it is a good thing. I mean, the road coming into the property is like this one lane winding road, and you just feel like you're in the middle of the desert. You got the mountains over to the side of you, and it is just stunning and immediately immerses you in that peaceful feeling. You're like, "Oh, I'm about to have a great weekend." That's what I felt
Yeah.
anyways.
Something that I love that we learned in the clay and culture class that we took, and that's the resort sits on the Santa Ana Pueblo. And I love how they taught us that everything was so well thought out and designed. Even like that sprawling, winding road that you mentioned when you come onto the property was on purpose. Like they had a reason for making it a little curvy as you head down into nature. You can't even see the hotel from far
Nope.
away because of the way it's built low and sprawling to blend in with the earth. So I love all of those details about the property.
Yeah, it was so intentional. The entire design, every single thing, the pools, the names of the building, the way that the building is created where it's not tall, there's no obstruction of the land or the mountains. Instead, as you mentioned, it kind of just blends in. This was all very, very intentional. 75% of the resort and the property and the land is owned by the Santa Ana Pueblo, and so this was really an effort to bring tourism in and allow people to experience the culture of the people that come from this part of the country.
One thing to note, though, in saying that about how the hotel is kind of sprawling, our room was quite a little walk from check in, which was totally fine with us. But if you do have a mobility issue, an endurance issue, you may want to consider asking for a room closer to the check in
Mhm.
desk. I just would throw that out there. I mean, they have elevators, everything would be wheelchair accessible or stroller accessible, but still, it can be a long haul. So, especially if maybe you can walk, but you can't walk very far, just keep that in mind. Also, you may want to consider asking if you can for a mountain view room. Now, every room there is going to be gorgeous because no matter which direction you look, there is beauty. But the mountain view rooms like we had were, I mean, come on, guys, that it was incredible. The views from the balconies at this place, you get yourself your hot tea or your coffee in the morning, you put on one of the robes they have in the rooms and soak it all in the sunrise. Oh my gosh.
I mean, the sunrise, the sunset, you
Yes.
basically have a full view of the Sandia Mountains. Sandia means watermelon in Spanish, and there is a reason that they have named these mountains that because the shade of pink that they turn at sunset is like nothing I have ever seen. There's a picture of the sunset in my stories somewhere or a video, can't remember. I did not filter or edit the color at all.
It was incredible. It's so quiet there. The
I
silence you
love the
notice
silence.
because in the morning, if you can wake up, all you hear are birds chirping, and the evening, the stars are just everywhere. I mean, if you need a peaceful retreat, if you need
Yes.
to get away from the chaos of the world, we're going to highly recommend you go book yourself a few nights at this property because that is what you need.
Yes, there's even, guys, we'll talk about the pools in a little bit, but the adults only pool is literally a name that means like quiet and peace or something like that. I might be slightly misremembering that, but it is a quiet space. Like you truly, we never went in there because all three of us have loud voices, and I think we were a little bit afraid to disturb people, but I can see that being so incredibly relaxing and restful. All right, guys, we will get right back to the episode, but we want to share one of our absolute favorite travel products with you right now. We both have this. We both purchased it with our own money. First, Mary Ellen got it, and I saw hers, and I was like, what is this magic? And then I bought one. And this is a backpack from Amazon, you guys. And I cannot say enough good things about this backpack. It is the perfect personal item, literally every feature. It fits in an unbelievable amount of stuff. It fits under the seat. I've never had it questioned as my personal item. Tell them more, Mary Ellen. I don't even have words.
Oh, yeah. It's 40 liters, so it holds a ton, although you can get it in several different sizes and styles to fit, whatever size you like. But Joanna and I both have the 40-liter one, and we have found that to be perfect. It has so many well thought out pockets. Of course, there's a spot for your computer, but there are pockets all over this thing. And then I love that it has clips on the side, and then it has a zipper that unzips all the way around. So you can open it up like a suitcase. But then for safety, when you're traveling, those clips on the side can be clipped. So it's not like someone can come running up behind you and unzip your book bag very quickly because of the added clips. So I think it's a really secure option for travel. I have found that it's brought me some comfort for being a little bit more secure while still zipping up all the way open like a suitcase.
We both have some pictures and videos on our Instagrams, and please message us if you'd like to see these. And of course, we have a link for you in the show notes because we believe in this bag so much. This is a affiliate link. It does earn us a very small commission, and buying things through our links is a great way to give back to the show. It really helps us, it supports us, and it makes us really excited when we love stuff so much and then you guys end up falling in love with the same things.
Yep, we only share items that we truly do love. And so this backpack, we have different styles because I love that different people can choose a different aesthetic and it looks slightly different while still having all the same great features. So find that link in our show notes. Okay, let's get back to today's episode.
We barely left the property, and that is what I would tell anybody going to experience this is prepare yourself for a few days where you're just soaking in this incredible space. Don't try to get busy and go do stuff elsewhere. There's no reason to. You have everything you need here. I do think we should talk about the room a little bit before we move on to the property. What do you think?
The rooms, I would say, are pretty standard hotel rooms. This is a category 4, okay? This is not a category 8. This is not fancy, but again, you are blending in with nature at this property. So they are very clean. They are very, I would say, spacious. These are not tiny rooms by any means. I did think the pillows maybe weren't my favorite. So if you're real picky about pillows, maybe bring your own. I did not call and ask if they had any other options. So that certainly would be an option. And they were so kind and accommodating for things. They would probably do whatever they could to get you new pillows too. But overall, I would say the rooms are pretty standard.
Yeah, I mean, they were lovely. They had really nice little touches of Native American artwork in them.
Beautiful.
I liked the color. I liked how light they were. Both of our rooms had balconies. So one thing we should note is that you are globalist right now. And so free night award plus potential globalist upgrade will often get you into a junior suite, which is essentially a room connected to a second room that has like a living area. And that would result in 2 full bathrooms. I can see this being an incredible option for families. I think we're making it sound like a very adult-centered property, and there are many things for adults to do, but this is an incredible family property. Lots of things geared towards kids and families. So keep that in mind. The junior suite is a really nice option for fitting multiple people.
So, real quick, let's run through some of the other things on property, and then we will maybe talk more about our favorite things. So, as we mentioned, there are 3 pools and a hot tub, the adults only pool. One pool has a slide. When we were there at the beginning of April, the slide was only open on Saturdays. There were still plenty of kids in the pool enjoying it, having fun, but keep that in mind. You don't want to promise a slide and then not get to access it. And then one pool was not open yet for the season. I think it was probably opening soon. I don't know, maybe by Memorial Day for sure. I'm positive it would be open by then, but check into that if you're planning a trip. We didn't really need the pool because there's so many other lovely things to do, but I know that's a highlight for a lot of people. We did get in the hot tub in the evening, which was
So nice.
awesome. So nice. It has a little waterfall, a little ambiance. We enjoyed, there's fire pits nearby with s'mores, and then you can get in the hot tub. That's a lot of fun for an evening, when it's dark, the stars are out. I love that. There is a poolside grill that was not yet open for the season. So when we talk about restaurants, you won't hear us mentioning that because it was not open yet. That's the pool situation. I know people are wondering about the heated nature of the pools. Again, we did not get in the pools, but people were in them, and we have it on good authority that they are heated. So,
Mhm.
that's an important question for a lot of people. Okay, beyond the pools, I'm going to just read off a list and then we're going to circle back, okay? Free bike rentals and sports equipment, lots of trails for biking and hiking. There is a spa on site that also it's a full salon and spa, so you can get your hair done. There are horses on site, of course, we'll talk about that. Fire pits all around. There's a gift shop on site with Starbucks coffee for the morning. There is a golf course, a full-on golf course. So this is a property where mom can be happy, dad can be happy, all the kids everybody gets to be happy no matter what you're interested in at this property. But our favorite of the free activities that we got to enjoy were the bike rentals.
Yes, they were. Oh my gosh, I love a bike. And this property has so many trails that you can just go exploring on bikes. They're all very easy. They also had some bikes for children, not a lot. So you might have to wait your turn or stake your claim if it's busy season. I don't know. If you're road tripping, bring a bike. Why not? I don't know. But during the busy time, you are allowed to check out a bike for 30 minutes at a time. While we were there were not very many people. So as long as they weren't closing soon, they close at 4:30, we could take the bikes out really as long as we wanted them because there was no demand for them to be back. And it was lovely. You can get through lots of the trails in 30 minutes, so it doesn't
Oh,
feel like
yeah.
you're too rushed.
And we did this every day. We just kept going
Mhm.
back because we enjoyed it so much. At one point, at the end of our trip, we were trying to outrun a thunderstorm, and we were like standing up on our bikes, pedaling fast, and we were like, we feel like we're back in the 90s. We have
The
reverted back to
Goonies.
childhood. Yeah, the
That's what
Goonies.
it
It
was
was so fun.
so awesome. It was so awesome. We literally, guys, this thunderstorm came out of nowhere and we were like, oh, we are going to get dumped on here. So we made it back and then it started pouring as soon as we got in our room.
And we were on our balcony watching the rain, and it was so
So
great.
nice.
It was like,
It
man,
was
I love a well-timed thunderstorm, okay? Loved
Yes,
it.
when I don't have errands to run, bring on the
Yes.
thunderstorm.
Okay, but you can also ride down to the stables every single day, even if you don't have a horse ride booked
Yes,
and
yes,
you love
do it.
horses, your kids love horses, you can get the bikes and you can either walk there or you can get the bikes and ride down to the stables and just spend time petting the horses, loving the horses. Talk about some therapy time, relaxation.
Oh,
If you're an animal person, you're going to love it. So let's just get into the stables and all of that. Joanna is ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready. It's my favorite part, guys, because I could have spent literally every day just at the stables at Tamaya, snuggling these horses. So many of them are so affectionate. This is a nonprofit horse rescue, which I love. I actually was not aware of that until just a few days before we went. And it made me so much more excited to know that this is not just a profit venture that the hotel is trying to, get people to come in and do their horse rides and make more money off of them. No, this is actually a completely separate nonprofit that has a partnership with the Hyatt Regency Tamaya. And I love that. So guests can come book horse rides. They have group rides, they have solo rides, they've got carriage rides. If you have a big group coming to the property, apparently you can also book a rodeo, which is very cool. But these horses are treated with the utmost care, love, and respect. They come from all kinds of different backgrounds, from hoarding, from abuse, their owner passed away, and they are brought here and get a new lease on life where they are just so well loved. And we had the opportunity to go out on a ride, me, Mary Ellen, and Lindsay, and our amazing guide, Jasper. He was excellent. We learned so much from him. He was so kind and lovely. He is getting married soon, and we are so excited for him. Yay, Jasper! He was so fantastic. The absolute perfect guide. I feel like I had a whole history lesson on horseback, which I love. Guys, there is something incredibly special about riding a horse through this desert with mountains on all sides. It just feels so peaceful and so calm. If you love horses, even if you don't know if you love horses yet, this is definitely worth the splurge because the money goes right back into caring for the horses.
A few details to note about the horses. You need to be 8 or older for the group ride trails, okay? And these are trail rides, guys, so just set your expectations of this is a slower walk on a horse, which is great for beginners, great for people who are a little nervous. These are very kind, very sweet horses, but it's not going to be a galloping adventure so much. So you need to be...
you have my horse who loved to stop and eat and then run to catch up with everybody else, which was actually delightful. I loved it. I loved every minute of it.
So 8 or older, but they can possibly accommodate younger people on private rides, okay? Prices for group rides, the standard group ride, it's a 90-minute ride, is $90. It's $100 for a private ride of 60 minutes. So it's a little shorter. But I love that the price isn't that much more. So if you do have a family with young kids and you need to do a private ride versus the group ride, you can still do it without, it's not like it costs astronomically more to have to do a private ride. So it's a great option for families. But again, you can go down and visit the horses all you want. And I will say that this is something that we were planning to do no matter what. We did let the property know that we were coming, and they so generously let us do this for free. I'm going to give you guys full disclosure on that. But it was 100% something that we would pay again to do.
Yeah, if I went back, I would 100% pay for a ride. It's such a good feeling to know that your money is going to a really exceptional place and you get an amazing experience out of it too. I would absolutely not skip this if you are coming to visit. It's about a 15-minute walk. It's about a mile if you're doing like a nice slow walk. It's a lovely walk. We walked back one day instead of taking the shuttle. I think that was right after our ride. We were a little sore. We were like, let's just walk it out. So you can walk down there. You can ride bikes down there. Great option for getting some energy out for the kids. Just walk them down the road to see some horses.
I'm sorry. I'm going to need to go back to how we were when we got off those horses because Jasper was like, whoa, don't get off without me helping you. Come right over to this spot and get off. And I'm like, I'm fine. I can dismount a horse real quick. This is no big deal. And then my body reminded me that I am 40 years old. And when I got off that horse, I could not walk right for a while. So
I mean, after the bikes and the horses, I had a sore rear for quite a while.
Worth it.
But
Hashtag worth
yes.
it. A little sore. Okay, so that's the horses on property. It's fantastic. What a treat to have that right on property with you. Okay, now let's talk about my favorite thing, eating.
My second favorite thing.
Yes, my favorite meal of the day is breakfast. And as Joe mentioned earlier, I right now have globalist status, which is really exciting, which meant that we got to have breakfast for free every day. This would be a great place to use a guest of honor booking if you had it. Because there's not, again, this hotel is a little further out, so it's not so easy. Maybe if you have a car, it would be easy. But if you don't have a car, you're probably not going to run and get breakfast. You're going to spend your money on property at the restaurants, which is great. And they are great. We're going to tell you all about them. But great option for a guest of honor booking. So breakfast was at the Santa Ana Cafe. And as we mentioned, we were there at kind of shoulder season. So the first couple days that we had breakfast, they did not have the full buffet open. Instead, we were able to choose off a menu, and I loved everything I got. Joe and
Mm.
Lindsay got these breakfast burritos that were the size of your face. I mean, bigger than your face.
If I had known, we would have split one. Although I guess if it's free, you just get it and you just try to fit it in somewhere. But it was delicious. But yeah, it was literally like bigger than any Chipotle burrito you've ever seen. But what I'm gonna need you guys to order when you go to breakfast is the fried crisp bread with lavender butter cream cheese, because we couldn't remember what the menu said, and then it came to the table and we were like, half of us thought it was butter, half of us thought it was cream cheese. I like how I said half when there's three of us. And so then we couldn't decide. And then we looked at the menu again and we were like, oh, it's butter
We
cream
all
cheese.
win.
We all are right. Everybody gets
wins
a trophy
when you get this dish. Yeah.
It is, I will dream about it. It was heavenly. Do not miss it. We really loved the Santa Ana Cafe for breakfast. I would say for lunch and dinner, there are other places on property that shine. So have your breakfast and then head on to some of these other places for your other meals. I didn't think the prices were actually bad at all on this property.
Yeah, I didn't either. I was very pleasantly surprised overall with when you go to resorts, you just see sky high menu prices. So I was like, okay, this is reasonable. This isn't really more than I would pay at any other restaurant, at least where I live. So I thought it was okay. Now, that was breakfast. We were always so full from breakfast that we didn't actually ever eat lunch, I don't think, on property.
No, we didn't.
We had 2 dinners at the Rio Grande Lounge at sunset, which is late for me because I'm coming on the East Coast, but it was worth it. Our server the first day, Erica, told us, hey, you come back at the time of year we were there, it was like 7 o'clock. Come, because at about 7:30 or 7:40, you're going to want to be looking at those mountains at sunset.
She was not wrong.
She was not wrong. We ended up loving the restaurant, though. The nachos that they have, guys, just order them, period. Full stop,
Yes.
order them.
And also the banh mi changed my life. It was like pork belly. It had some spicy jalapenos on it, a really good sauce. I got it both times that I went there, and that's not the kind of eater I am. I like to try many things. And I did not. I just wanted to have this one thing over and over. The other thing that we got the last night that we were there was this brownie.
We had to go out with dessert.
Baked brownie. Guys, I'm not even really a dessert person. I have to be honest. Like, I will pick the salty over the sweet every time. But this half-baked brownie, they make them fresh, and it was incredible. It was rich and gooey and had ice cream on top. And I was literally like about to lick the bowl.
Yeah, it's kind of like don't be offended, okay, Rio Grande Lounge. Don't be offended. I mean this in the best way. It's kind of like a molten lava cake at Chili's, where the chocolate is all melty on the inside and it has a scoop of vanilla ice cream on it to help balance the chocolate. It's different. It's different, but that, if you're thinking in your mind, bring that up, and that's similar to what it is.
And then multiply it by 50, and then that's the half-baked brownie.
Okay, but we have to talk about our favorite meal of all, because we all three, I think, agreed that this was the best meal of our entire lives. And this was also a situation where they said, we're excited that you guys are coming. We are going to give you this dinner on the house. We paid for our other meals. They said, we're going to give you this dinner on the house because we want you to experience the Corn Maiden. And it might be the most kind and wonderful gift I've ever been given.
It truly, I've never experienced anything like it. It was such a gift. George, the chef, was excellent. Every time I'm over here eating rotisserie chicken and romaine lettuce, I cry a little bit and say, George, where are you? Because I want somebody to cook for me every day. It really, that's what it felt like. It felt like we had been welcomed into somebody's kitchen and they were like, let me cook for you. Let me give you my best. Let me show you all of the things that I make that are so excellent. We got
So
to
we sat up
try
at the bar, guys.
so
Like we
much.
literally
Yeah.
were watching him cook. That's why she says it seems like we were invited into someone's kitchen. We weren't just at a table. They let us sit right up top and literally watch everybody at work, which was really cool. It was
It's
also
special.
really embarrassing at the beginning because they
It
had
was
us
not
up on these very tall bar stool-esque chairs. They were big chairs, but they were tall like bar stools. And mine, I really don't know what happened. It's all a blur. All I know is I'm trying to get off of it, and next thing you know, the entire thing in this nice, wonderful, lovely restaurant fell over. I'm falling off the chair, a loud kaboom. They had invited us into this place, and here I am causing a ruckus.
You know what? First of all, the leg was broken. And I don't think you broke the leg. I'm assuming it was already, like partially
It
fractured.
couldn't handle me, Joe. It couldn't
No,
handle me.
getting off of those stools is a little, I mean, me, you, and Lindsay, none of us are what I would consider short. I
No.
am the shortest, but we are all taller. And your feet couldn't touch the ground. You had to shimmy off and like stretch your toes towards the ground till you kind of plopped onto it. There's nothing graceful about that situation, but I don't think it was you that caused this stool, but it was quite the start to.
It was
I,
hilarious. I was laughing, whatever. It was very fun. And it was just a night we'll never forget. My meal, I
Never.
got the buffalo tenderloin, and it was unbelievable. The crust on it was salty and crusty, like just how the best steak in the world are. And he told me that it was like this a little bit, and I'm not a mushroom person, but he said he had some kind of mushroom
Powder.
something powder
Yeah.
that was involved that kind of gave it that yummy crust. It was unbelievable.
I did
Unbelievable. Best
sample
steak of
yours.
my life. It was buffalo.
I
Can you
know,
do
I
you
was
still call it
so
steak, I guess?
I don't yeah, you know what? I
I don't
don't
know.
even know.
I
I
don't know.
assume so. I was honestly so proud of you. Like, the last thing I ever expected was for you to order anything buffalo. You tried a lot of stuff. Okay,
Yeah,
Mary Ellen is a resident picky eater. She says
true.
so herself, and I don't think George let her down once. She was
No.
trying all of the things. Guys, we started with a whipped ricotta. I'm just going to walk you through what I would order if I went back, okay? And I want you to do this. If you had to choose, start with the whipped ricotta. It comes with this delicious crusty bread. The ricotta, they make the ricotta, okay? Then they top it with honey and herbs. The honey is made by the bees in the hive on property. There is so much farm to table happening in this restaurant. Whatever's in season, whatever they can grow, they do grow. They plan their menu around what is growing well. It is a very exquisite experience. I would start with that. The salads,
Oh,
there
yes.
are two very good salads on the menu, but the corn maiden salad, we wanted to lick the dressing off the
Yeah.
plate. I mean, it
Yes.
was so good. And then Mary Ellen got the buffalo. We got to try their ribeye for two, the most incredible ribeye I've ever had. I'm very picky about steak because I can make steak at home and I do a good job. So when I go to a restaurant, if it's not at least as good as what I can make at home, I'm upset that I spent my money on it. This far outweighs anything that I've ever been able to do. It was so much food, first of all, even for two people, and it was just so good. Now, one thing I would say, as a person who does not eat a lot of breads, pastas, they don't make me feel very good. They make me feel very inflamed. This comes with mac and cheese as the side, which is fine. I would personally try to sub that out for something else on the menu. I don't really know what the options would be. I did not ask, but if I were to go back, that's what I would do. There were so many exceptional things, so many great sides. I loved the chimichurri vegetables, so I would probably ask if I could swap the chimichurri vegetables for the mac and cheese. But you do you, boo. And
Now, you
then,
guys loved,
oh,
though, a cabbage dish on the menu that George created himself.
I
It's
was getting to the
vegetarian,
cabbage.
vegan friendly, and you guys, I mean, and I even tried it and really enjoyed it. I'm, again, the picky one. I loved it too.
Okay. I don't even know where to be. Like, I would have a hard time coming back and choosing between a ribeye and a cabbage dish. I am a
Which is a wild
meat
statement.
eater. That is a wild thing
Yeah.
to say. I am a meat eater all the way down to my core. I love some meat. I dream about this cabbage. Not only is it vegetarian, it's vegan. You're telling me there's not even butter in this? Are you serious? How? How does he make it taste like that? I will never know, but it keeps me up at night salivating. It is this braised cabbage, just this huge piece of cabbage. It has this amazing sauce on it. It is cooked to perfection. My vegetarian friends, I know we have quite a few vegetarian listeners. You better not skip the corn maiden if
No,
you are on this property. I would never go back to this property when the corn maiden is open and skip it. Not
no,
ever. It was the best meal of my life. I
do
would
it.
save for however long I had to make this happen. But again, for being an incredibly fancy farm to table restaurant, like truly one of the best kitchens that I have seen operate, much nicer than most of the places I eat, I found the prices still to be very reasonable for a nice restaurant. The ribeye for two was under $90. Oh, and this ribeye is massive and it comes with a side. Like, I would say if you're averaging 40 something dollars a person for an entree at a very, very exceptional restaurant, that seems reasonable to me. Guys, when you're staying on points, when you're flying on points, this is where your travel budget should be going, is to immersing yourself in these incredible, memorable experiences that will stay with you. It is not a waste of money. We like our trip to be less out of pocket, but that's so we can have these experiences.
Yeah. So, Chef George, thank you.
Thank you,
We
George.
appreciated the opportunity to sit in your kitchen basically and eat your yummy food.
Another shout out, staff wise, David was, I'm assuming he's like the restaurant manager. We actually saw him floating around the property a lot, but he was excellent. Maybe we just do our staff shout outs while we're at it right now, because there are a couple people I think we wanted to recognize.
Real quick, everybody, we want to remind you that Yahoo Travel is our presenting sponsor. The Why Wonder newsletter, which is written by Joanna and I twice a week. We've been having so much fun with it. We hope that you are enjoying it. We are building it for budget-friendly travelers who care about traveling further for less out of pocket using points and miles. You know that is our whole thing. We want everyday folks to be able to travel more.
Yeah, and we have a spot for everyone on this newsletter. We're going to be pumping out some beginner-friendly stuff, some more high-level stuff, and everything in between. So no matter where you are on your points journey, this is the newsletter for you. We want it to have the same fun vibe as the podcast. It is written in our original voices. It will also include some of the latest developments from Yahoo Travel, and those are things that Wonderland on Points listeners can really benefit from.
So sign up today at travel.yahoo.com, and you can also find the link in our show notes.
Back to the episode. So, staff shout outs, we've already mentioned to you Jasper, we've mentioned to you George, we've mentioned to you David. Everybody that we encountered was so lovely, so helpful, so wonderful. We would love to shout out Melissa, who was kind of our back end contact of making everything come together. She really was incredible. On property, we had Melina, who taught our clay and culture class, and she taught us so much. I was so grateful for everything that she had to teach us. And then there was Raina, who was one of the front desk ladies that helped us a ton, and she just went above and beyond
She did.
out of her way, and I just appreciated her. She was just so lovely and so helpful, and we had asked a few questions. I wanted a wedding brochure because they do weddings here, and I keep talking about how my 10-year anniversary, I'm gonna like do an actual wedding. So anyways, she literally came running after us after we had left the desk and were like outside by the pools to give us all of these brochures that she had tracked out. It was so sweet. I'm sorry. Everybody here is just amazing. I want to live there.
I know. It was wonderful. They really
Mm.
were all so wonderful. I do want to mention we're getting near. We're going to talk a little bit about going off property. We only went off property for one thing. But
Mhm.
before we do, I want to mention again the cultural classes that you mentioned. Melina taught us a Pueblo pottery class, which was so amazing. So on property for, I believe it's $33, they have a dream catcher class, they have a pottery class, they have a basket making class. So there's several options if you really want to immerse yourself in the culture even more and
Mm.
learn. I would certainly love to do this with my children because I'm
Yes.
always wanting them to learn about whatever place that we're going. It
Mhm.
was really wonderful. So do check into those classes when you're coming. Sign up ahead of time. Very worth it. We also
Yeah.
need to talk about our spa experience.
Yes, we sure do. One more thing on the classes. This is not like just a craft. Okay, I feel like sometimes you think of like, oh, I'm making baskets, I'm making pottery. Like it is truly immersive. You learn so much. And even if you're not artistic, which I would not call myself artistic in this way, you are able to make something special, a little keepsake to bring home, and you will leave very, very glad that you went to it. You learn so much. Okay, let's talk spa. As a spa noob, this was really special and relaxing, and what a gift.
Yeah, definitely. They have a very nice changing area with lockers. They also have a little hot tub, a steam room, a sauna, all right
Mhm.
there at the spa that I'm pretty sure you can access even if you don't have an appointment to get a massage. You can still access those things. So if you're with your family and, one parent takes the kiddos for a while and you need to go just be like silent and serene somewhere nice, that would be a fun place to go and spend some time. So both of us got massages, which is very rare for us. And
Mhm.
we very much enjoyed it. I think this is where I learned about the altitude of Albuquerque. And it blew my mind because
Yes,
Joe had a little bit of a headache that day. And we just thought it
every
was,
day.
yeah, every day. We thought it was whatever. And then someone told me, oh, well, Albuquerque is slightly higher than Denver. So altitude sickness can actually be a thing in Albuquerque. So we have liquid IV because, your girl does not travel without liquid IV. So I would say, make sure anytime you get a massage, they tell you to drink more water, stay really hydrated, but, throw some electrolytes in there.
Yes, there are things you can do to avoid or prevent or treat altitude sickness. So if you think that you're a sensitive person that gets a lot of headaches, definitely plan ahead. I would also recommend bringing your allergy medicine because I am not even an allergy prone person at all. But there's stuff in the dirt, in the air, in the plants here that my body was wildly unfamiliar with. And especially after the rain, I had a full-on allergy attack that felt like it lasted for 24 hours. I was so itchy and tingly, and it was weird. And I did end up getting some Claritin from the Hyatt Place on our way out. That changed everything. It made me feel so much better. So if you're at all a person who's prone to these things, just come a little prepared.
Yeah, keep it in mind.
Mhm.
Okay, let's go off property. I decided I cannot go to Albuquerque without doing a hot air balloon ride. I was
Mhm.
pretty dead set on this. And I first pitched it to Lindsay and Joe, and you guys were like,
No,
not sure about this."
absolutely not.
In
Never in
fact, they
my
both
life.
rejected me. And I said, guys, don't feel bad. I respect your decision. Stay on property. I'm going to do it, even if I have to do it by myself. But we ended up reaching out to this company called World Balloon, and they said, hey, we've been around longer than anybody else. Our
Mm.
our pilots have the highest standards of safety. Nobody comes and sees it and talks to us and doesn't end up going on the ride. They felt so confident that you ladies would feel confident when you were there, and they were right. This is a family owned company, World Balloon. Afterwards, we learned because all the pilots of all the companies like text each other, they're all friends,
Mhm.
and it was a day where the winds were a little tricky because with hot air balloons, you can never, they do know they study weather, but at the same time, wind happens. And other balloon companies had a little bit of a rougher landing than us. And our pilot landed us at 2 miles per hour. It was the softest, smoothest
So
landing.
gentle. It was very impressive, especially as we watched some of the other balloons in the surrounding areas going down much faster and much harder. So I felt like we were in the best hands. And
Yeah.
I am obsessed with this company. It is, they don't actually have a huge online footprint. So when you're Googling, I don't know that they would necessarily stand out to you, but we are here to tell you that they have been around literally longer than any company doing this in the United States. They are family owned. They have a military veteran and first responder discount, which I absolutely love as a first responder wife. And I was so terrified. I was never in my life going to go up in a hot air balloon. And I did it. And it was the best experience. I thought I was
so
going to get
peaceful.
it's so peaceful. You think that you're going to get that feeling like when you're on a roller coaster and you're taking that little slow train up to the top and you're up at the top of a hill just knowing what's coming and your stomach is doing all the things and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to drop. It's going to be awful." That is what I thought I was going to feel like. And instead, you lift off so slowly. I described this in a reel. It's like the ground lets go of you, and then you are weightless, and it's so quiet. We went out for a sunrise air balloon ride, so we were up at 4:30. We got our Uber by 5 something in the morning. We were over there. We got to watch the whole setup process. It was very cool. They made us feel so comfortable. You can't go to Albuquerque without doing this. And if you do this with any other company, what are you even doing? Especially if you're
They were
nervous.
wonderful.
You
They
go
were
with the
wonderful.
originals, the OGs.
And I will say, just if you're wondering, do we not have to wake up that early in the morning? Pretty much you do. All of the companies, it's early morning is when they have the flights. In the winter, if you're there in the winter, there are some evening flights, but because of the atmosphere and all the things, morning is the time that the balloon rides happen. So it does have to be a morning activity. Coming from the East Coast, it wasn't a problem for me because I was waking up that early anyway. So that was fine. I want to also mention they do have a wheelchair accessible balloon. I love that. Children as young as 5 are allowed to do this. If you're 5 to 18, you have to have a parent or guardian fly with you. But it is an activity that families can do with really young kids. The maximum weight per passenger is 275 pounds. When you book, they are going to want to know your weight just because it's really important for how they, balance the balloon basket and all of that. And please do tell them that we sent you. We don't get a commission for you booking with them, but they were so kind to host us. So we would love for them to know that you heard about them from us and you wanted to come to them. We did make a whole YouTube video about the experience. So if you are nervous, especially, watch the YouTube video because it will show you from start to finish what you can expect. It is a champagne toast. So at the end, you get a little champagne. You get to have a little mimosa experience. You can just have orange juice or the kiddos can have orange juice. But it's really nice at the end. They do a little thing with the toast because everybody's so excited and proud of themselves for doing this big Albuquerque thing.
They give you a certificate and then they tell you a little bit of the history of ballooning and why they do a champagne toast. And I'm not going to spoil it because that is such a part of the experience. I thought that was so incredible. This is going to run you a little bit over $200 a person when all is said and done, most likely. So it is a splurge activity, but you got to do it at least once. And Albuquerque is the place.
Oh, it's the place, guys. I mean, both of us, everybody on this podcast, we talk about being a budget podcast because we are budget people. But we always say there are certain activities that are worth the splurge. When you're traveling around the world, you want to do the iconic activities that different places and regions are known for. And Albuquerque is the hot air balloon, capital of the world. So do it. Okay.
I've been so excited about this the whole time.
We have something very important to say next. Okay.
It's so important. You guys, I have goosebumps all over my body.
We loved this place so much that we have been thinking about something for a long time. We've been unsure of how or when to do this. But you guys, we are tentatively planning a Wonderland on Points meetup at the Hyatt Regency next spring. You guys book your own flights on Points. You book your own room on Points. This isn't a group trip in the sense that, you pay one price and you see these group trips advertised, international locations, whatever. This is more of a meetup. So you're coming on your own, but there you will get to meet up and spend time with all like-minded Points and Miles people who are this podcast community. And we really, really want you to be there.
We are so excited about this, guys. And our plan is to have group activities. So just because you're going to book your hotel and your points on flights, there will be some kind of a cost where you will pay and we will book everything and your activities will be included in that. So we're envisioning horseback rides, hot air balloon rides. We're envisioning a dinner at the Corn Maiden. But what we really need to know is truly the interest level of people who actually think that they can do this. We have a Google form that we're going to put in the show notes, and we're looking at dates in April of 2027. So please go look at the form, read through it. If you feel that this is something you can actually feasibly do, we want to get the details nailed down right away before the award chart changes.
And you guys, we want to meet you. We're so excited about this. We want to see you in real life and hang out. This is a girls trip vibe, okay? So we love our men listeners, but our vision for this is a ladies experience. This is a ladies trip, girls trip. Every spring on my spring break from teaching, I have been going on a girls trip, right? Last couple years. So all we're doing is next year, we're like, let's open it up to the listeners. Let's all meet up and have a spring break girls trip together. So will you join us? We click on that link. Tell us what you think. It has the opportunity for you to give some feedback in there as we're still kind of putting everything together. But we are beyond excited about this.
Seriously, there are so many of you that we talk to all the time online, and to put faces to the screen names, oh my goodness. I cannot think of anything better, and I cannot think of a better property. So we are so grateful to the Hyatt Regency Tamaya for everything they gave us, to World Balloon, to the stables. It was such a magical experience, and we are so excited to bring people back here to experience it. And we also, even if you can't come with us, guys, this is a property not to be missed, whether you are adult travelers, whether you're coming with a family. And if you decide to book it, please tell us, send us a message on Instagram or put it in the Facebook group. We want to know. We want to know everything that you think. And we are so excited to hear about it.
One more note on the meetup. Once we have interest from everybody, we do envisioning making a private Facebook group for the meetup so that people can coordinate things like rides from the airport out there. Maybe you can ride with someone else who's going to be with the group. Even roommates, maybe, if people are open to that. Most people probably don't want to room with a stranger, but we'll make a private group and people can kind of coordinate amongst themselves for those little details.
Absolutely. That will help kind of stretch points and dollars all over the place. So we do want you to fill out the Google form if you seriously believe it's something that you can make happen. Because it would be a real shame if we had a lot of people say, yeah, I can do this. And then we planned things and booked things and then had people back out. So it's not locking you in.
No.
But we do want you to be serious and believe that it's something that you can do.
Okay, guys. If you have questions about this property, please DM us, reach out to us. We loved it. We have a YouTube video showing off the property. Check out the YouTube video. We have the YouTube video for our experience with World Balloon so that you can get visuals for both of those. You could share those with your family if you're thinking about a family trip here and your kids want to see the property before you guys decide to book there. Go check those out, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye. Thank you so much for joining us for today's episode. We hope you learned something new and feel inspired to plan your next trip.
Remember, we're travelers sharing our experiences, not financial advisors, so always do your own research and make informed decisions.
If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow so you never miss a Points and Miles tip.
We'll see you next time on Wonderland on Points.